Okay, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna jump into a new lane, a lane filled with a little bit more substance. We will definitely get back to the hip hop, the rap, and everything going on in our current situations. But I do want to take time out to do a series on Black inventors. Okay, we have created some of the greatest gadgets and things in our history, so I want to make sure that that's highlighted. All right, so we'll start out with a short introduction for Phillip Downing. He is the creator of the Mailbox. I think we all know how important that is because as of today, we still utilize that. During the late 19th and the early 20th century, Phillip Bell Downing successfully filed at least 5 patents with the United States Patent Office. Among his most significant inventions were a metal street letterbox with 4 legs, which is the predecessor of today's mailbox, and a mechanical device for operating street railway switches. Yes, he does have a patent on that. Downing also had a career that was with the Custom House in Boston, Massachusetts, and he retired in 1927 after 30 years of service. Wanted to throw that one out there about the mailbox because it just lets you know that you can be great. Just take whatever you have in your mind. Don't let anybody restrict that. And just go ahead and build off of it and try to perfect it and try to create something that you can in turn patent so that it can be licensed out and used and you will always forever be paid. So, and also what does it do? It helps us live better in today's time. So let's jump into our second Black inventor, who is Garrett Morgan. Morgan patented the sewing machine, which also would in turn lead to his financial freedom. In 1909, Morgan was working with sewing machines in his newly opened tailor shop, a business he had opened with his wife, Mary. Shout out to the Black Queen. Shout out to all queens, black, white, whatever color you are. Every man needs a good queen behind him. So that's enough said on that. And she actually had experience as a seamstress. When he encountered woolen fabric that had been scorched by a sewing machine needle while working. It was a common problem at the time since sewing machine needles ran at such a high speed. In hopes of alleviating the problem, Morgan experimented with a chemical solution in an effort to reduce friction created by the needle and subsequently noticed that the hairs of the cloth were straightened. After trying his solution to good effect on a neighbor's dog's fur, Morgan finally tested the concoction on himself. When that worked, he quickly established the G.A. Morgan Hair Refining Company and sold the cream to African Americans. The company was incredibly successful, bringing Morgan financial security and allowing him to pursue other interests. In 1914, Morgan patented a breathing device or safety hood, providing its wearers with a safer breathing experience in the presence of smoke. So I think y'all know where we're going with this one. Gases and other pollutants. Morgan worked hard to market the device, especially to the who? Fire departments, often personally demonstrating its reliability in fires. Morgan's breathing device became the prototype and predecessor for the gas mask used during World War I, protecting soldiers from toxic gas used in warfare. The invention earned him the first prize at the Second International Exposition of Safety and Sanitation in New York City. I mean, look, if we talking about a gas mask, you know we're ahead of the game. So good job to Morgan, because, I mean, he really did what a lot of people want to do every day, and that's create something of substance, right? So Garrett Morgan, good job, man. There was some resistance to Morgan's device. Of course, there's always going to be pushback when you create these things. There was some resistance to Morgan's devices among buyers, particularly in the South, where racial tensions remained palpable despite advancements in African-American rights. In an effort to counteract the resistance to his products, Morgan hired a white actor to pose as the inventor during presentations of his breathing device. Morgan would pose as the inventor's sidekick, disguised as a Native American man named Big Chief Mason and wearing his hood, enter areas otherwise unsafe for breathing. The tactic was successful. Sales of the device were brisk, especially from firefighters and rescue workers. That's something really amazing that, you know, back in those days, you had to actually dumb down who you were as the inventor so that someone would buy your product. So even when you created something that would save a life, people still wanted to come behind you and not buy it just because the color of your skin. That's crazy. But, you know, those are the times we lived in. And, things have changed today. I mean, in certain circumstances, the overall view of us is the same, but I think that, there's enough people on both sides now to where people really come together more than all the tensions they try to stir up in the world. I see people just say, whatever, and keep moving. We all live amongst each other, so there's no way around that. And I think people are doing a good job in general of living together and making things happen. I think what we got to do more is focus on our own communities and tighten up the madness we got going on, because it's really sad. But we're going to move on forward. The Cleveland Tunnel explosion. In 1916, the city of Cleveland was drilling a new tunnel under Lake Erie for a freshwater supply. Workers hit a pocket of natural gas, which resulted in a huge explosion and trapped workers underground amidst suffocating noxious fumes and dust. When Morgan heard about the explosion, he and his brother put on breathing devices, made their way to the tunnel, and entered as quickly as possible. The brothers managed to save 2 lives and recover 4 bodies before the rescue effort was shut down. Despite his heroic efforts, now understand him and his brother put on this invention they made and went into the tunnel to go help other people. Despite his heroic efforts, the publicity that Morgan garnered from the incident hurt sales. The public was now fully aware that Morgan was an African American, and many refused to purchase his products. Adding to the detriment, neither the inventor nor his brother were fully recognized for their heroic efforts at Lake Erie, possibly another effect of racial discrimination. Morgan was nominated for a Carnegie Medal for his efforts, but ultimately wasn't chosen to receive the award. Additionally, some reports of the explosion named others as the rescuers. Sad, but it's true. Let's continue. Traffic light. While the public's lack of acknowledgement for Morgan and his brother's roles at the Cleveland explosion was undoubtedly disheartening, Morgan was a vicarious inventor and observer who focused on fixing problems and soon turned his attention to all kinds of things, from hats to belt fasteners to car parts. The first black man in Cleveland to own a car, Morgan worked on his mechanical skills and developed a friction drive clutch. Then in 1927, he created a new kind of traffic signal, one with a warning light to alert drivers that they would need to stop. After witnessing a carriage accident at a particular problematic intersection in the city, Morgan quickly acquired patents for his traffic signal, a rudimentary version of the modern 3-way traffic light in the United States, Britain, and Canada, but eventually sold the rights to General Electric for $40,000. So we jump right into the traffic light. Who don't need a traffic light? How are we moving if we don't got it? Very slowly and unorganized. So once again, man, that's what I'm talking about. Social activism for Morgan. Outside of his inventing career, Morgan diligently supported the African American community throughout his lifetime. He was a member of the newly formed National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, was active in the Cleveland Association of Colored Men, donated to the Negro colleges, and opened an all-black country club. My boy. Additionally, in 1920, he launched the African American newspaper, the Cleveland Call, later named the Call and Post. And in his death and his legacy, Morgan began developing glaucoma in 1943 and lost most of his sight as a result. The accomplished inventor died in Cleveland, Ohio on July 27, 1963, shortly before the celebration of the Emancipation Proclamation Centennial, an event that he had been awaiting. Just before his death, Morgan was honored by the United States government for his traffic signal invention, and he was eventually restored to his place in history as hero of the Lake Erie rescue. Morgan improved and saved countless lives worldwide, including those of firefighters, soldiers, and vehicle operators. With his profound inventions, his work provided the blueprint for many important advancements that came later and continue to inspire and serve as a basis for research conducted by modern-day inventors and engineers. Man, all I can say is salute to Garrett Morgan. You created a lot, man. You created a sewing machine. You created the stuff for black people's hair, the hair conditioner. You created the stoplight. You created the gas mask. And you put all that to work. That's amazing. Hey, once again, salute to all the black inventors. We'll have another one coming soon. Appreciate you. Be easy. Yo.